Our boy Wulong the Connector is being built up once again. Ever since his introduction like 20 or so chapters ago, he has taken the #1 spot as the character being built up in the Kengan story, and like really no other antagonist type character. For example, we had Faye, who was considered the Tiger Vessel and more so mysterious for the majority of the series before his introduction. Then characters like Eddie, who yes were in the background but hadn't really been built up to a crazy degree, apart from him killing the soon-to-be leader of the Kure clan previously, and then all the stuff that was revealed about him during his fight with the Kure and Wu clan. Then of course we have the longest villain in the Kengan series, the Tiger Nico. He's more so just pure evil in my regard, doing his own thing. Even though he's probably the longest lasting villain, he hasn't really been on screen as much as even Shen Wulong at this point. Shen is just doing his own thing and seems to be fairly chill. However, I do believe he has another side we haven't seen where he switches on, and that's where the legendary connector, the person above the worm and the Wu clan, appears, as we learned this chapter. When Retsudo was interrogating one of the worm members they captured, this is what was said. It was about a mastermind that the Worm and Westwood faction worked for. They called him the Connector, with this of course stunning Metsudo and giving us the feeling that Metsudo knows more about this Connector potentially. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is the person who defeated Kure Iryo, the First Fang, before he learnt all the Kure techniques back in his flashback in the Kengan Ashura Volume 0. I don't think that's Wulong. Due to Wulong not looking that old, he'll need to be around the same age as Metsudo and Iro before he died. Unless the Connector's personality was kinda transferred similar to what Edward did with his son/clone Gilbert. That could be the case where Wulong is being around forever, and that's the legend that associates with the Connector. Also considering when we saw Wulong in the flashback with a younger Yan and younger Zia G, he pretty much looked the same, so maybe he just isn't aging, also considering the whole crazy technology the worm seems to have. And if the Connector is in fact the one above everyone regarding the worm, that would be pretty interesting, but I can't wait to see him actually switch on and see what happens regarding that. But of course, his name reveal to Kazi, Jackie Lee, pretty funny stuff. I'm really enjoying Wulong in the series. A different type of antagonist, but when he switches on and when he actually ends up fighting someone, that's going to be some insanity. But Metsudo's face here, just to learn about the existence of someone above them, the Connector, and how he's actually just in the arena chilling, is great stuff. Before I continue today's video, welcome to the Mysterious Weeb YouTube channel. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. I talk about fighting manga mainly. If you enjoy that type of stuff, welcome. Now let's continue. So of course, the main thing to talk about now is the next fight of the Berserker Ball, Adam Dudley vs Garuki. I made a poll yesterday. Of course, most people think Garuki is going to win. I'm on the same boat. It will make the match between Koga and Garuki a reality, something we've been waiting for quite some time now, especially with Koga's recent improvements, and now even Garuki's improvements with him being trained by the likes of Kiryu Setsuna. Adam is pretty much fighting for Himuro, as we had their crazy close fight where Himuro was too injured. He was defeated by Adam due to his fight against Kono before that, even though they're pretty much relative. Himuro throughout the whole series has kind of been sunning Garuki due to, I guess, him having knowledge of the guard style because he's also from the inside. Maybe he did some training with Adam before the Berserker Ball starts to work out a counter for Garuki. However, I don't think it will matter too much. Garuki will definitely win in my opinion, but I think Adam's going to be much more impressive and actually shine quite a bit and make Garuki work for this victory like he never has before. One aspect that kind of makes me believe this will be the case is how Garuki isn't really acknowledging Adam too much, probably viewing him as someone not even worthy to go all out against, with Kiryu just calling it Roki's feeding time and that Roki is going to devour his prey, pretty much considering Adam absolutely nothing. It's going to be over quickly. I think Adam will shock everyone, push Garuki, and then we'll have like a similar injury level to how Koga is injured from Silver. So yes, I think it's going to be a good fight. Adam's going to be impressive, but Garuki is going to be the victor, of course. Some other things to mention about today's chapter, 178 for reference. We have Tokita Oma planning to teach Koga another Nico style technique before the next round, which will most likely be against Garuki, as Oma is probably aware of and is going to probably help Garuki come up with a counter to the Girl style, as Oma's watched a few of Garuki's matches now, and due to the similarities between the Girl style and the Nico style, Oma may have some advanced knowledge in how to counter some aspects of that, especially now with Oma realizing Garuki is using the Koe style. He also has knowledge of that due to fighting Kiryu back in Ashura. So my prediction is that Oma will be teaching Koga a Nico style technique that's going to be a counter to the Gara style and the Koe style, shocking everyone. And it's pretty much the battle of Kiryu and Oma again, with Oma training Koga and Kiryu training Rogi, which is pretty cool stuff. I quite enjoy this aspect of Kengan Omega. Now to talk about the thing I'm not really happy about that got revealed this chapter, is that the Wu Clan Chinese branch with the Wu Xing leader, they have a secret technique that allows them to pretty much unlock 100% removal for various members. This has resulted in many deaths with using the technique. However, the likes of Kurei has been able to reach 100%, and the current leader of the Kurei clan is confirmed to be Hollis, will most likely reach 100% with this technique as well. So the 100% thing is kinda not even relevant at this point. Everyone will most likely have 100% by the next time the Kurei fight the Westwood faction. Nothing too major. I expect Kurei Ryan to have something above that, or maybe just his base is too strong, it won't really matter, as he was naturally born with 100% rather than unlocking it with this secret dangerous technique. They are now aware that Gilbert Wu is the current leader of the Westwood faction. However, they don't know the truth about him. From their knowledge, they just think Gilbert is the son of Edward, not the clone and pretty much the exact same Edward in a new body. They also show William Wu in this panel as well, as someone who survived the battle with Edward Wu's brother, and probably someone who's going to be a top tier in the Westwood faction when they have their crazy battle. A big question is, I'm wondering where Kurei Ryan is. He hasn't returned ever since his fight with Edward. That's going to be some insanity when he does return. And considering the other Kurei members are pretty much focusing on unlocking 100% removal, I wonder what he's doing specifically to get stronger. That's going to be an interesting thing, as he is pretty much the solo powerhouse of the Kurei clan at this point, the one who's going to fight Gilbert Wu when they have their crazy battle. So as a whole, I'm not too thrilled about pretty much every major Wu clan and Kurei clan member having 100% removal now. Oh well, we pretty much had that in the battle against Edward as well, can't complain too much. I'm excited to see Kurei Ryan in the future. I'm very excited for Shenwu Wong, and I think the fight between Adam and Garuki is going to be some cool stuff. But that's pretty much everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out all the other stuff in the description. Shout out to the Mad Lads who support the channel via the Patreon. And that's it guys. Peace.